Here we are again. So I recently got my first comment on the channel. High five, prayers. That really energized me from my mundane daily life to make a video. So let's get right into it. As usual, we're going to start with the tiers. And we've got some new tiers and some old tiers which are making a comeback. Allow me to introduce them. So first of all, we've got the This Is What I Wanted tier. And this tier is for dramas whose couples delivered exactly what I wanted. Sometimes what I didn't even know that I wanted. These couples ticked, mosquitoed, and fleed all my boxes. They delivered and I signed off on it. The next tier is the I liked it tier. And just as the description says, these are for couples that I liked, just that they lacked a certain je ne sais quoi, and so didn't make it to the This Is What I Wanted tier. The next tier is the It's Not You, It's Me tier, and this is reserved for the dramas with couples that didn't work for me. So not that they were necessarily bad, just a case of that they were given but I wasn't receiving. On to the next tier, which is the Where is the Flavor tier. And this tier is for dramas that made me go,
there is no passion, there is no vision, there is no aggression, nothing is there.
The couple's chemistry here might even be worse than those of the Why and Don't Do It tiers, because at least those were laughably bad or blood pressure spikingly bad for me. And with the right mindset, some could even be reimagined as comedy. These ones are just unforgivably bland and unnoteworthy. Why tier? Very self-explanatory. You'll see when we get there. Last and probably least, the Don't Do It tier. Usually I'd say you should try all dramas regardless of people's opinions. So this tier are for couples, emphasis on couples that if you asked about watching them, I'd say don't do it. For this video, I'll try to bring up certain things that I personally didn't like in my favorite dramas, and then try to highlight things that I liked in the not so enjoyable ones. So, drama number 1, Something in the Rain, aka Pretty Nana Who Buys Me Food. Son Ye-jin plays the female lead, who is a frequent target of sexual harassment in her workplace. So her bosses are these really sleazy dudes who, the type who don't really cross the line but just kind of skirt the edge of it, so you can't really call them out. But because of a sort of let's go with the flow kind of nature, she doesn't really do anything about it. We, the viewers, can tell that she'd like to dropkick the pervs into a volcanic eruption, but she just goes along with the flow to keep the peace. In the midst of all this comes in Chung Hae-in's character, who's the younger brother of our female lead's best friend. The two reconnect and fall in love, but as you can expect, their families, or more specifically, her family, isn't particularly giddy about their relationship. For me, this couple is exactly what I wanted. They're such a comfort couple. Their conversations, the small touches, the subtle glances, it isn't every time you just grab someone's daughter by the waist or hand, whichever is readily available, slam her against the wall, slap the wall above her head like it owes you money, bore down into her eyes, and make a face that makes you look like you're constipated. Bonus point if there are a million camera angles showing the either utterly lifeless eyes or worse, the frightened eyes of the female lead. Those were some good old K-drama days. So you get none of that here. Just some sweet, sweet loving. A special shout out to the hand holding under the table scene. That is some real good crack. So my biggest and only grievance with this series is the female lead's mother. A scene that perfectly showcases her craziness is one where she wakes up in the middle of the night to find that her daughter obviously has gone to her hot as lava boyfriend's house. And what does she do? Does she do any of these? No. And you'd expect that she'd know that her daughter isn't learning Sanskrit in her boyfriend's house at that time, but she still has the guts to go over there and then ask what they were doing. Ma'am, you damn well know what they were doing. We all know what they were doing. So why would you ruin it for me? Why? Next up, Tomorrow with You. This drama is led by the enigmatic Lee Jae-hoon and the gorgeous Shimina. This was my first Lee Jae-hoon drama, and praise God, hallelujah. This man is fine and a hell of an actor. Shimina, of course, never disappoints. Okay, so the basic premise is that Lee Jae-hoon's character can time travel. He sees his future self die, and in an attempt to avoid this gruesome fate, he decides to marry Shimina's character. He hopes that by getting married and having children, something so completely out of character for him, his future will change and the cup of death will pass him over, so to speak. First of all, this couple are a very touchy couple, which is my favorite. It's not the type where there's enough space between the two for a continental drift to occur. The type that makes you want to ask, are you guys social distancing in love? I'm not even asking you guys to party cuss it up, but can you not act like the other person has a communicable disease? This couple's banter, especially their post-marital banter, is so fun to watch. They had some very butterfly and stomach-inducing stuff. Even their fights were adorable. If there's something I didn't like about this, it's that it kind of dragged towards the end, but that's fine. This couple definitely belong in the What I Wanted tier. Well, it's about time we encounter a bad egg. Find me in your memories. I can only hope I'll be able to do this one day. This sits comfortably in the Where is the Flavor tier. The story is about a man who never forgets anything and who is especially traumatized by the death of his ex-girlfriend. And our female lead is an actress who acts ditzy, I guess. I watched this solely for the lovable Moon Ga-young, who plays the female lead. My girl was just given and given, but the male lead was just taken and taken. He took my energy, my time, my ability to keep my eyes open. I dropped this in the 4th episode, so maybe it gets better. Okay, so something good about this drama is Moon Ga-young. That is it. Next up, Run On. Just thinking of it makes me giddy. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the prettiest of them all? This man right here for sure. Why did you do Summer Strike? Why? But don't worry, we can pretend Summer Strike doesn't exist. Im Soo-won, the male lead, plays a sprinter who is the son of a politician and a popular actress. Neither parent is particularly interested or involved in the life of their children. Although his father, the politician, does display his prized possessions, aka his children, when it is beneficial for his political career. Shin Tae-kyung plays the female lead, who is fluent in English, So she does subtitles for movies. She also acts as a translator and also tutors on the side. These two start out as friends, but there's this underlying tension, this sort of knowledge that they like each other from the very start. But then they're just getting to know each other first. They have this casual, comfortable vibe about them that really appeals to me. Let me also point out that friends to lovers is the superior romantic trope. If you disagree with me, I'm right, and you're wrong, and you dance badly. If there's something I like most about this couple, it's the fact that they communicate very well. I can't really think of another K-drama couple that leave no room for pointless, drawn-out misunderstandings because the writers can't think of any other means for conflict like them. The second couple in this drama are played by Choi Soo-young and Kang Tae-ho. I like their romance that involves two very different people with vastly different upbringings and social standings. Very rarely in K-drama land am I as interested in the second couple as I am in the first, but this one did it for me. They weren't just human caricatures used to fill up the time or having a second male lead that shows us how amazing the male lead could be but isn't. They weren't just put as compensation for the main couple not reciprocating their feelings, and they weren't just evil for evil's sake. They actually had a plot, and both of them had great character arcs. This drama definitely goes to the what I wanted tier. If I do have to nitpick, I would say I didn't like the last minute shoved in redemption arc for the father. I'm kind of realizing now that I have a thing for slice of life dramas done well. The characters are just so deliciously plump and three-dimensional. Angel's last mission. Well, thank the heavens it was. The Shin Hye-sun L pairing just wasn't for me, even though I really adore Shin Hye-sun. Thankfully, my next Shin Hye-sun drama rectifies things. This goes into the it's not you, it's me tier. One good thing about this drama is that the house that Shin Hye-sun's character lives in is really pretty. And that's about it. Interest of love. If there ever was a drama that blue-balled their audience to the very last episode, it would be Interest of Love. It had a love hexagonal situation happening. Okay, so let me explain. So I hope that what I'm going to say now is going to be intelligible. He likes her and she likes him. But then on their first date, he kind of stood her up because something kept him at work. But then when he does eventually show up, the female lead watches him kind of hesitate, and because oh my god. Okay, so she's waiting for him in the restaurant, and then she sees him approaching the restaurant and she's happy, but then she sees him hesitate, and because both of them are from different social standings, she thinks it's because he's sort of looking down on her, and because of this she shuts him out. She then decides to date him, and the male lead, devastated, decides to date her. And the best part of this is they're all in the same bank. Oh, and not to forget, there's also someone in the bank who dated her before. So you have this just weird situation happening. Good times. I'll say this for the drama, even though it sometimes skirts the edge of becoming a makjang, it's well written, well casted, and superbly acted. But I have enough stress in my real life, and K-dramas are a great escape. Watching this felt like my internal organs were oh so slowly being lowered into boiling oil. Every time the main couple were in the same room, which was most of the time, the tension between them was suffocating. Worst of all, it has an open ending. Now, I only like open endings when it's convenient for me. Not this. Straight to the white here. Love Alarm. So I'm going to split this into the first season and then the second season. I loved the first season. I was completely enamored with the concept. Looking back now, it does seem kind of juvenile, but then that's the whole point. In the Dramas universe, there's an app, the Love Alarm app, that when turned on, alerts the user if someone within a 10-meter radius likes them. Pretty cool, huh? The couple here was so cute. Everything they did, and I mean everything, was so adorable. Like the way my eyes bulged out when I watched the last scene of the first episode, like these people did not come to play. None of that wishy-washy. Do you like me? Do I like you? Does she like you? Does she like me? Do we like them? And I mean, I know you spend every possible waking moment with me, but do you like me? God! They knew they liked each other pretty early on, which was great. So why, oh why, in the name of Jehoshaphat, did we get such a rubbish season 2? I thought the second season might explore how the love alarm worked, how it might not be a good idea to solely depend on an app for finding love. But did we get that in season 2? Oh no. We got 2, or more specifically, 3 idiots mooning for each other. Instead of just coming out, confessing, and telling themselves how they felt, clearing up the air, there will be no misunderstandings. No, none of that. And then we had a goddamn revelation at the very last minute that actually the female lead has been in love with the second male lead all this time. She just didn't know it. You know, I'm a pretty strong advocator for K-dramas where first love is not the be-all and end-all of everything, but be for real, my friend. I didn't wait for over 2 years for this garbage. There was nothing redeemable about season 2 for me. And it completely tainted the first season. I absolutely cannot recommend this to anyone to watch. Well, you can watch it, but at your own risk. This sits pretty in the don't do it tier.